Surprisingly, and most people don't know, is that actually loneliness is very bad for your heart health. It's very clear data that actually cardiovascular disease and type 2 diabetes is predicted down the track. So if you're lonely in your first year, you're more likely to report cardiovascular disease and type 2 diabetes down the track, which is both reflected in both Danish data and in English, the UK data that we're seeing. And it's very clear with large data sets. So there's something around loneliness being processed as a stressor, that we process loneliness and feeling like no one's got our back, that we don't have those meaningful relationships, actually hurt our health and our heart health in particular.
What should governments be doing?
Look, I think we really recognize that loneliness cuts deep across all sectors. And for us to really make a difference is really working together. In each not-for-profit sector or community sectors or health sectors, we can make a difference. But it's really through that coordination to actually deliver a national strategy to actually understand how do we identify people who are at risk of chronic loneliness, where do we send them, what the best solutions are for them, because we know that not every solution is going to work for everyone, and what's the most effective solutions, and how can we recommend things that don't cause harm. Because we do know from research is that just simply linking people doesn't necessarily reduce their loneliness. In fact, some people say they might increase their risk of feeling excluded if it's not the right group. So we need to maybe deepen the understanding of what loneliness is in the first place, but to equip you and I and the person that we live next to really get them to not trivialize this issue. That just because you're lonely doesn't mean that you just have to make a new friend and that just goes away. There's lots of complex issues around what those barriers are, and it's incredibly nuanced, all the way from our genes to our brain processes to our financial circumstances to our environment. So it's really understanding that this is an issue that has multiple predictors. So we need to coordinate and we need to speak the same language. We need to have policies that make sense, that are in line with the evidence. We need to rapidly translate what we see in science quickly into our workplaces, quickly into policies. And that's really the first step.
I give notice that on the next day of meeting, I will move that this House notes that loneliness has emerged as one of the most serious public health challenges being faced around the world. Addressing loneliness is integral to Victoria's COVID-19 recovery. In 2018, the UK government appointed a dedicated Minister for Loneliness and published the world's first loneliness strategy. In January 2020, the first loneliness annual report outlined progress in the UK as a result of the 60 commitments made in 2018 in establishing that ministry, and calls on the Victorian government to create a dedicated ministerial portfolio for loneliness.